Hey, it's louisity again, and for this video, I'm going to be doing the Contradictions Book Tag. Hoorah! So I was tagged by Eghe. I'm going to be linking down her channel below. And yep, and I'm definitely excited to do this tag. So she has another tag that she did in her channel, and I'm going to be doing it because I'm tagged. So let us begin. I love contemporary, but there are two books in mind that I didn't really like, and one would be Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. I just felt like the first 70% of the book was just like, you know, running around in circles. There wasn't really much happening. It was like, this character is this, and this character is this, and like, this is what happened next. Okay, we see, you know, there's not really any sort of like, kind of like a, what you call this, like sort of rhythm or like frequency, you know, kind of like those, yeah, I'm kind of bad at explaining, but anyway, I think you know what I mean. It's like there's not much action, there's not much like sort of a movement that like goes through it. It doesn't necessarily have to be like explosive, but it feels like as if you are just going around in circles. So that's why, at least for the first like 70% of the book. Now, the other book that I didn't really like as well, and this is a pretty popular one by one of my, you know, auto-read authors, or probably I'd say that one of my favorite authors because I've read a lot of his works and I really enjoy them. And the book that I'm talking about is The Notebook by Nicholas Sparks. Honestly, this is my least favorite book of his. Maybe there's factors that I read this in college, and maybe there are things here that didn't really resonate with me because I could hardly visualize the experience, but it just didn't have much impact to me compared to his other books. Like, there are definitely a lot of Nicholas Sparks books that I really enjoyed, that I really loved, and I was like just like blown away by them. So yeah, those are my answers. It's more like I'm starting to just get into this genre, and that would be historical fictions. Like lately in the past recent years of my reading experiences, or rather I should say reading, I've been getting into more historical fiction, and one of them, well, I've read a lot of great ones and good ones, but this one I gave 5 out of 5 because it was just like seamlessly done, and that would be Between Shades of Grey by Ruta Sepetys. Now, I just have to say that it's not something that is really heavily dramatic, but there are still, you know, scenes there that are intense and that you can definitely feel the emotion while you read the narratives. And it does give you an idea about gulags, or it's gonna like, you know, make you contemplate or make you want to search more about the gulags, Stalin, you know, and maybe even like you know, the war between Germany and Russia, or the relationship of these two countries or nations, like World War II and all of that, you know, and how you kind of can compare or contrast Hitler and Stalin. So it's a very interesting one. It's thought-provoking. It's definitely going to make you want to know more about the events that happen, even if it's a fictional account. These are kind of like patterned to like what happened back in the 40s in Siberia amongst the Lithuanians, I should say, and of course the annexation of Russia to the different nations and how Soviet Union was formed. It's going to make you think about those things. I love John Grisham, but I didn't really like The Partner. It's one of those books that didn't really resonate with me. I think it's just about the flow of the narrative that was just like not impacting about it. All I remember is that there was this guy who was like in Brazil and like in the border of Paraguay, and yeah, it wasn't as strong compared to his other books like The Firm or even The Appeal. Or A Time to Kill. Those are like his, like some of the great books that I read from him that made such a huge impact to me. And yeah, also the associate was pretty good as well, but like the partner, it was like, didn't pass. I didn't like Shatter Me by Terry Moffey because I felt like this book was more erotica than like dystopian or like governance or like let's fight for our people, kind of like that, if you know what I mean. Or it's really not much action packed, and like the sort of world was like very small, very tight, and yes, more importantly, it's definitely a lot more erotica than like being dystopian. However, I gave the series a chance because y'all know I wanted it a giveaway, and I already have like the first 3 books, and now like a 6-book series, like yeah, 6-book series, y'all, of the Shatter Me series. And I read the 4th book, which is Restore Me, and contrary to what I usually hear, a lot of people didn't like how the series continued, but to me, it's like from the 1st book until like the 4th book, it's like it just got better and better. The 2nd book was a little bit still kind of has those things that I found from like Shatter Me, like Unravel Me had those things, but it did give justice in how like it flushed the scenes, and Ignite Me is just like igniting the best or something better out of it, and Restore Me is restoring the great things about why this book is indeed dystopian and deals with like some governance. You know, we get to see here Juliet being a leader, like, well, it's up to you whether if you think she's a great leader or not. You know, regardless of that, it's the characterization, the way her circumstances were portrayed were, you know, much vivid and much more impacting, whether you're gonna like the characterization or not. It does make an impact, at least on my view and my experience of reading. But I just have to say, like, I'm glad that I gave the series like another chance. I could have just like stopped with Shatter Me and like not proceed. But yeah, I decided to continue, and yeah, I'm looking forward to like finish the series. I still have to finish a couple more books, Defy Me and was it Imagine Me? Yeah, I think that's the title. Y'all probably know the answer for this by now, and that would be Cricket Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. Now, I have reading vlogs, like it's divided into a couple of parts about what my reading experience was. It was actually, you know, good at the first like, part, but then when I revisited it, it was like, not really the best, but I have to say that I really love the cover. Well, brown is kind of like my favorite color, and of course I'm biased about brown covers, but yeah, the series, no, just not for me, not. I didn't really like the cover of Kaleidoscope by Danielle Steel. I'm not really a fan of this like teal color and this like, I mean the Kaleidoscope looks cute, but I'm not really a fan of the color combination. I feel like if this was like orange or red or kind of like a warmer color, it would have been better. But I have to say that the story is very emotional. You can really feel Hillary's struggles and how, you know, her struggles honed her and kind of like built her to who she was in the story, like how kind of like fundamental it was, all that pain and that struggles that she experienced. It was just really horrible, and how like it was great that, you know, just to let you know a little bit of a spoilery here, they will of course see each other because it happens to be a story about like there was this guy and this girl who got like married, and they had 3 daughters, and like the parents had some turmoil, and they, you know, the dad went to jail, the mom died because of the dad, and like the dad, you know, committed, you know, self-harm, and of course the 3 became orphans, and yeah, they were all separated, and Hillary didn't really have the best. Actually, she had the worst. But definitely, I remember my experience reading this. It was very like emotional. I can feel the emotions from the narratives, and I'm thinking about, should I try to read this again? it's definitely going to be a ride if you're going to be reading this, but definitely a very beautifully written book. I'm going to be tagging Wina Wonders and Pam Shenanigans, and if you want to do this tag, you know the drill. Bam, consider yourself tagged then. Thank you super much, Eghe, for tagging me, and I hope you folks enjoy this video. If you've made it this far, leave like a night sky with like buildings emoji, because I'm filming this during the evening and I just feel like that would be the best emoji. So if you did like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, click that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon somewhere down there to keep yourselves posted about my videos. And I'll also put down the links and handles of my social media accounts, so feel free to check me out and follow me there as well. As always, thank you super much for watching. Always be thankful and unleash the reader in you. Bye y'all. Mwah.